Vague refers to something that is unclear or imprecise in its meaning or intention. Inconsistent, on the other hand, refers to something that does not remain the same or is not uniform in its behavior or quality.
All right, here we go. Episode 32. It's just Jack and Lou right now.
Magic Johnson, 32.
Duke forgot what night it was, so he'll be on in a minute. Yeah, 32. I feel that as I've been moving all week, I electrocuted myself 3 times today.
On what? A fan? Were you putting another fan?
No, light switches.
Okay. Wait, you didn't turn off the breaker?
You know what? I did, but I think because one wasn't a ceiling light, it didn't turn that one off. So the switch I was messing with was,
okay.
You take the plate off and you're messing around in there. I touched it. I'm like, oh, that hurt.
It's like that one's live. Wait. But you did that how many times?
3.
Uh-huh.
One time was because I turned the breaker back on and I was just trying to change something real quick. And then one time was that the neighbor was live. I don't remember where the third one happened. Look, I got electrocuted, okay? My mind's a little fuzzy.
Right? Clearly. You should have been holding a light bulb just to see if it would have turned itself on. Just like
it's a weird tingly feeling.
Do you still feel it?
No, not anymore.
Oh, okay.
It was about 5-ish minutes that I felt it. But because we're putting all these smart bulbs in, I got to switch out the dimmers because the dimmers and smart bulbs do not go together at all.
Boo.
Yeah. But I like yelling at Alexa to turn off all my lights, so.
That was my next question. Like, which is the preference, though? The dimmer or the...
Alexa will dim it for you.
So she can do. Oh, okay. All right. So you still get it. You just have to.
You can tell a percentage.
Man, that takes some practice, though. It's like when I'm listening to what is that little Echo Dot or whatever that thing is. It's like reduce volume 50%. It's like, oh fuck, that was too much. Increase volume 30%. It's like I don't know what the volume. How am I supposed? Man, just like Alexa, set the shit to 10. What?
Right.
What? I don't know.
Something.
What does 10 mean? So, welcome to the party. The struggle
shirt on.
is
He
real.
got no pants on.
No, I
was going to say,
at
does he
least
have
put
pants
shorts
on?
on. I put shorts. I'm not Donald Duckin. Not today. I thought about it.
Don't worry. We'll keep it a short night as best as we're not doing 2 hours like last time.
Oh my god.
We'll try to keep it down to an hour so Jack can edit it down to like 45 minutes or something like that because it's a late start. I know you're tired. I'm actually getting tired myself already, even though I slept most. That's not true. I woke up too early, and then I didn't take my nap. And I was like, I've been up since. So I was like, man, I didn't get my old person nap.
Already getting back in that work mode.
Honestly, a little bit. I if I'm supposed to start work the 22nd, so I still got a little ways. However, they did tell me if all my background stuff comes through sooner, would I be willing to start sooner because they could use the help. And I was like, hey, as long as you give me 48 hours notice, just don't come and say, can you start tomorrow? If you say, can you come in 2 days? Absolutely, I'll help you guys out. Because I know in my field, it's snow removal, season to get contracts and budget season and annual meeting season because annual meetings usually are in November, December, but you still have to give 30 days notice. So that means it's happening now. So I know they're struggling. So I was like, yeah, as long as you give me 2 days, I got you. So we'll see what happens. I could start the 22nd. I could start Tuesday. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, for our 5 fans, I did get the job. I was told on Monday. So yay me.
That means we'll have a real laptop soon.
Exactly.
Ooh.
And a job, which means I'll have income to get a proper light for my camera and all that. So I'm actually I'm a splurge and spend that $7 on a light instead of a Adorable from Star Wars.
And Jack has a whole new setup too that he's gonna have to work on.
Look at that. Yeah.
Got to put stuff up on the walls. They dampen that sound because you're getting some little bit of echo now, my friend.
But the best part is I'm in a real chair.
Hey,
oh damn!
Look at you.
I'm not sitting on my Chewbacca pillow anymore.
You should have put the backpack on top of the shelf, though. I kind of missed the backpacks.
You still could be sitting on the Chewbacca pillow. Just saying.
That is true. We don't know that. I mean, from my angle, all I see is it looks like it says Disney Nut. Oh, there he goes. Out. Look. Okay. I was like, what the hell? I was like, what the hell is Disney Nut? Because the way it's cut, it was cut perfectly.
You put it, Lou. You put it in your blue milk. That isn't milk.
Oh, that's right. It's not milk.
Drink it. It's not milk. Just name that.
They just
it's
trying
pretend.
to mess with us. Mm-hmm. Mess with us. So yeah. So, yes. Okay. So you missed a little bit, dude. We were only on like 3 minutes before you. Wasn't nothing crazy. But we were talking about like the move itself, and Jack was saying he might not probably 6 months realistically before stuff gets done, just because you got to obviously take care of the main house first, get the other old house sold. There's stuff to go on. So since that is the fun project, the fun needs to be on fun time.
That's the way.
Like, I need a break. I was like, okay, I'm done being an adult. I need to take a break. Then you go there.
Actually, that's been Outlaws this week. Especially because I'm playing it in the actual house with that 86-inch TV and surround sound. And
Wait, actual TV or projector?
It's an actual TV.
Okay.
Does it turn into a picture when you turn it off?
It probably could. I'm not bougie like that.
Don't give me that shit. I'm not bougie like that. Whatever, this guy.
Talking to a guy living in a condo and a guy living in an apartment. And he's like, I'm not bougie. Like
he says from his little casita.
From his casita. Yeah, right. Exactly. I was going to say it from his casita that he can look out the window and see where the pool's going to be. I don't want to hear that. That kind of reminds me. But in a roundabout way, did you guys ever test out the alcohol Keurig?
No, it's still in the box.
Okay, all right. I'm curious. Yeah, I'm curious how that is. So when you do, let me know.
For sure.
We'll do that on the podcast when we're all together in December.
That might actually be kind of fun. Shit. All right, what we got pop culture wise to talk about? Oh, you saw Joker 2.
Yep, I sure did. I sure did. I liked it.
I liked it too.
You haven't read the negative reviews on it?
Yeah, I saw it on Tuesday.
Oh, I didn't realize you saw it too. Okay.
Yep.
I got to take advantage of Tightwad Tuesday. You guys always talk about it. It worked out well.
Yeah.
So okay, hold on. Let me try to guess. Because of what I've heard. What I've heard, the whole bad people. Some people didn't even know it was a musical. Blah 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 blah.
Even though it's been marketed as such since inception.
Not really, though. That's the thing. I thought about that, and they really have. Not once they come out and said, "Come watch the musical sequel." They haven't really promoted it as a musical. The thing is, we're in tune of what's going on.
I'll give you that. I'll give you that.
We know. We all knew because we're involved in all that stuff.
Right.
So there's some people didn't know it was a musical, and some people walked out because they didn't know it was a musical, and it was a musical. Now, what I'm hearing, though, is it was a lot of member berries from the first movie. Overall, not that great of a story. However, everybody is saying the acting between the two of them was fantastic. That's what I've heard.
So I will say it was not a musical. There were musical numbers in it, but it was not your traditional musical, where the musical was moving the story forward.
Right.
They're crazy, and they went into these musical numbers that had nothing to do with the story. They weren't, sleep, and dig, like fucking Snow White or something. They had nothing to do with it. It's just, Joker going fairy and into his little mental state. So there were musical numbers. I would not say it was a musical.
But it's also, I think, a manifestation of what he was doing in the first movie. So the first movie, when he's doing his weird things in the mirror and all that stuff like that, the second movie was us actually, instead of
seeing what he's doing,
instead of being a passive observer to him, the second movie was, oh, now you're going into his, because I think part of the second movie was trying to figure out how much was real versus how much was in his head. Right? There were musical numbers where he is like in the prison yard, for example, or in the cafeteria area, and he is singing and dancing to the guards and everything else, and everybody is just acting like it's a total normal thing. I'm going to be curious when the director commentary and stuff like that comes out, when it actually comes out on digital / Blu-ray, if they're going to come out with I'm sure there'll be a video essay or something about it, regardless of when. I'm guessing there was some sort of thing to indicate the back and forth.
When it wasn't.
Right. When it was. Because, I mean, again, you're not going to see them run across the parking lot and climb up the fence to escape and not just get shot in the back. You know, like, you know.
It was a mental asylum, sir, not.
But you know what I'm saying? To me, it's like one of those things, like, there were things that would not have happened in reality, right? Like, so,
well, hold on. So I'm curious, though. You one of your things is you wanted to know how much was real, how much was Memorex. Did you get that answered here in the second one to help you with the first one, or even
no? I meant for the second one. I think the first one was all in real time. It's now you're going into we were going into his head in the second one. And
wait, you thought the first one was all real?
I mean, it just in time. Like, I have to go. It's been a long time since I watched it.
Like, he wasn't really dating his neighbor.
Sorry, but they made that very clear by the end of the movie that she did not exist. They didn't do that in the second one. So in the second one, there was no. So the first one, like, they had the part when he like looks at her, and then he looks at the empty space next to him because she's not there. Right. This one, they didn't do any of that. There was no. Oh, hey, Lady Gaga's real here. She's not real here. You know, I mean, there were parts of it that, like La La Land type of thing, where it was obvious that it was not real, that we were in his head. But I think there was some other parts that it was way more gray area on how much was a reality versus not.
Okay. All right. I got you.
So, sorry. Go ahead, Jack. I didn't mean to cut you off.
As far as the Member Berries, it was a direct sequel to what happened in the first movie. It's been 2 years. He's in Arkham, and now his trial's starting. So it is still reliant on the first movie. Could you have enjoyed it without seeing the first movie? Probably. I mean, they explained, oh, you didn't really date this chick. Oh, the little wolf dude was your friend. You know, you killed your other coworkers in front of him. So could you have watched it standalone? Yeah. I think they explained everything that happened in the first movie throughout this movie. So you could have watched it without seeing the first one. So
without being too lost. Yeah.
Exactly.
The acting was great. I thought
it was,
I thought that the art direction was great. Like the brights versus the darks and that type of thing. They had a cartoon at the beginning of it that I think kind of explained what was going to happen in the movie, like, and that happened.
So both of you saw it. So what is your opinion of why it's bombing?
I didn't read the reviews. I don't know everybody's hating it though.
Okay, all right.
I think personally, I think it's because I think there's a percentage of people who took stuff out of the first one that they kind of wasn't the same type of movie. And I think it's like if you go into a John Wick movie and he goes and becomes like a social worker and starts working with kids, and you know, like and so
that'd be good.
Right. So that's what it was, right? It was a completely different movie than the first one was. So if you were somebody who, for whatever reason, right, like there was a thing that you attached to that first movie and you walk into the second one, and the second one was just a exploration of somebody who is mentally unwell for all intents and purposes, right? And at the end of the movie, they actually do a good job of explaining, like, these are the events that led up to this point, and this is where you had your break, and this is, so I think because they explained the Jokerism, the Joker side of things, in a logical way, I could see where people would be upset about that, because in every other aspect of the Joker, the comics, the other movies, all of that kind of stuff, he's this nebulous, chaotic being that doesn't have a backstory, right?
Well, there's no reason for him.
So this one, they gave him a backstory. They explained how somebody could become the Joker, right? And so I think going into the movie after seeing the first one and the second one not being the same, and also it giving credence to mental health and all, explaining all of that kind of stuff, I think that is part of why people are having a big problem with it, right? Is
what? Huh.
Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, no, that makes perfect sense, because what's going through my head right now is like why that makes sense to me is because when I saw the first, one of the first things I would tell people was, this is a good movie on its own, especially how it covers the mental health side of things. It's the way I described it was this. This is a good movie on its own. However, nobody would have ever made this movie if it was not tied into the
if it wasn't called the Joker,
they would not have tied this, even though it was that good of a movie. So in that sense, if you're looking at it from that point of view, then you're probably going to appreciate this movie because it is a continuation of that story.
Yeah.
It's it sounds like the people who actually wanted, like me, when I didn't like Logan the first time, because
you wanted a superhero movie.
Yeah, I'm waiting for X2 to come out. I'm waiting to see X2, and that's not what I saw. But then I switched my mindset, and frickin' Logan's one of the best movies ever. Mm-hmm. So I think it sounds like that's what's happening.
Yeah, I think people just wanted him to be Joker and Harley Quinn and just tear shit up.
Right.
I think that's what people were looking for. So, again, expectations versus what you actually get. Again, I was going to see it regardless. I'll see anything that has Harley in it.
So speaking of that, as somebody who loves all things Harley, what was your opinion of not necessarily Lady Gaga's performance, but how Harley was portrayed? Because she was portrayed, in my opinion, in a much different light than she had previously in the comics and the movies and the TV show. Mm-hmm. Where
Duke being all sensitive to spoilers. Look at that.
I'm just for you, Lou. And
he's a man of the people.
And for the three people. Like, as far as like her, because again, she's not the same character that Margot Robbie was. She's not the same character that Arlene Sorkin was, right? Like, it's almost like somebody had, in my opinion, like somebody had the archetype of Harley Quinn and gave it to them, and they had never seen the TV show, they'd never seen any of the movies, and they had a character sheet, a D&D character sheet of what Harley Quinn or Harley was, and that was what they used in the movie, right? They didn't bring all of the baggage that she had from all the other stuff, right? So for somebody who loves all things Harley, what was your...
Well, I didn't mind it. Funny thing is, the thing I didn't like was that they called her Lee. Like, all the years that she's been around, nobody's ever called her Lee.
That's your biggest complaint.
Exactly. What's her name?
That's funny.
No, she's not a psychiatrist. She didn't fall in love with the Joker treating him. But she was still Joker obsessed for other reasons that they do explain in the movie. She didn't have her New York accent, which is okay.
Was her name still Harleen Quinzel?
Yeah, okay. She is. They do mention that her name is Harley Quinzel, so
okay.
She just introduced herself as Lee at one point. So,
but again, that's somebody who doesn't have the baggage of Harley Quinn, right? That's somebody who's coming in and just saying, "I'm going to make my own version of this."
I thought she was. It was a good Harley Quinn. I didn't have any. It wasn't like a radical departure from her origins, her typical story.
I kind of felt like their relationship dynamic was kind of switched. Where
Yes. She was the power.
She was the instigator
Mhm.
of that power dynamic between the Joker. I'm going to say the Joker because there was the Joker and then there was Arthur. So there's two different characters there, and how her power works against the Joker persona versus the Arthur persona is completely different. And yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting. I watched a few videos online afterwards, and there's definitely like I watched one video where one of the they had the girl wrote for the channel and for the website and everything, and she was very her takeaways were very negative from the movie, and I could see where she was coming from because of how she was relating it to everything else. One of the other people on the panel was kind of like, okay, I completely disagree with you. Like, I'm not, but here's how I viewed it. Right. And she was able to go, okay, I see what you were saying. So I could see both sides. Like, I could see why if you went in with the Harley Quinn baggage, that you could hate that character because of how she was and how her personality and everything was up until the movie. But I didn't see that. Right, because I don't have that baggage or that connection to Harley Quinn that I think some people have, and I think that's a big part of it too. Is if you had a specific connection to Harley Quinn or Joker going into this movie, that kind of isn't. You could potentially be disappointed. So,
I blame this. This is probably a good segue to our next topic, but I blame that on marketing.
Mm-hmm.
It's a simple thing where you have to understand that. Especially with Margot, for our generation, even going back to the animated series, you have to understand that there are fans out there of the Margot style of Harley, and if you don't market it to let these people know that's not what you're getting, you're going to get these type of reactions. You're going to get these people walking out 27 minutes into the movie. You're going to get these type of things, and it's like, well, just market it. My first thought was like, oh, just market it better. Like, I'm not saying, again, I'll use Logan again. I don't remember. Logan very well could have marketed it like it wasn't X2 that I was expecting. I don't remember, and that's on me if I still had expectations. But if you come to me and say, no, this is what this movie is like, and it's going to be a completely different version of this, it's our kind of like, you know what, the Batman. When the Batman came out a couple years ago, I was like, this ought to be different, whatever. And they marketed it that way. Hey, this is not this. This is not
your
in
mom's,
this universe.
This is not your mom and dad's.
This is not your mom and dad's Batman. That's a very good way to put it. And it wasn't, right? I enjoyed the Batman. I was a little bit nervous about freaking sparkly Batman, but he was fine. He was flawed. It was year one, all these things. And it was like, okay, but I can't compare it to these other ones, and they market it that way that you shouldn't compare it. They have not that I've seen, they really haven't done that with this movie to let you know. Now, the argument is going to be, well, the first one wasn't tied in, so you should know that the second one isn't tied in. But that's not how people think, right? It's like, oh, they had this Harley character. I know Harley. And then you go see Harley, and it's like, that's not Harley.
But I also feel like both DC and Marvel have done a very bad job of forcing everything into the same universe, right? You got your DC Elseworlds, you got your Justice League that like had alternate versions of all the characters and that type of thing. You have the Marvel universe, which again, I mean, Robert Downey Jr. is now going to be playing a completely different character, right? Like, he's going to be Doctor Doom when all we know. So I think that part of the problem with that is that people's expectations is that this has to be part of the bigger narrative, right? We talked about that last week with Agatha and with Ironheart a little bit. Is maybe Agatha is just her own thing. Like, she is tied to on the Marvel family tree. Way over here is Scarlet Witch, Wanda. And under that is baby Agatha, and that's it. It has no connection. There's no other lines connecting her to any other characters, right? Now, you could have characters in Agatha who maybe connect to other media or other movies, TV shows. But I think because people want everything to just be in the same. I want to see what the Joaquin Phoenix and Batman fight Robert Pattinson or Christian Bale or whoever. Like it's almost kind of, but they've also done a bad job of saying like this is a completely separate thing from this universe, right? Like they are not related. They will never be related. If they just came out and said that or presented that in the marketing, like you were saying, like, I think we're having a different conversation. Right?
Agreed. I think that's the biggest issue is like I said, I think you hit it right there, nail on the head, is that people are expecting a version of a character because they only know one version of this character. Even if you go on a limb and try to say two versions, animated series versus, now I won't even go with the Harley Quinn HBO show. I think it's HBO. Show. So if you take the animated series and you take the 3 or 4 versions that Margot's done so far, or the movies that Margot's done so far as her, that's all people know. So they haven't bothered to get people to understand. I guess this is a different take on this. How do
you do that though? Like the trailer, this was not Margot Robbie Harley Quinn.
Well, you'd almost have to, or press releases. When you do all your interviews leading up to it, the press.
But they have done that though. I've seen it at least, but
oh really?
Don't you remember with
doing it,
the '89 Batman? How many Batmans did we go through in the first 4 movies? Like, and there was no like. By the way,
but that was the same Batman.
But my point is that there wasn't near as much negative reaction when they said, "Oh, guess what? It's not it's not Michael Keaton. It's Val Kilmer. Oh, it's George Clooney."
That's not the same thing, though. That's just a different actor playing the same role. See what I mean?
But I think that's part of it.
That's different.
But I think that's part of it too. Is that people associate, like again, the Joker. So many people associate Heath Ledger with that role that you almost have to have somebody just be weird and just expect that he's going to disappoint everybody. So you bring Jared Leto in,
for real. But but nobody expected when the first Joker came out.
Right.
Everybody, that was well known. It was very well known that it was just like the Batman, that it was its own thing. It was not tied in to anything that was happening because obviously the timing was such that people thought that might be the Robert Pattinson Joker because of the way the timing of the movies came out. It was like, no. I understand they're within a few months of each other, or whatever the timing was, but they're not in the same universe. Okay, great. And that's fine. And the performance I thought was fantastic with the first Joker and all that was great and everything. But with this one, like to your thing, we knew that it was going to be a different Joker. We knew it was going to be a different Batman. I heard about that for months. I didn't really hear about that about Harley. I just presumed it. Because if the first Joker was different, then you would think, okay, the Harley is going to be different also. So that just makes sense to me. But for those who don't watch movies the way we do, and they're only used to the one thing, without being told otherwise, they're going in expecting that. No different than the first trailer we saw of Transformers. And I've been a Transformers fan since I lived in Japan in '84. I lived there from '83 to '86. Transformers came out in '84. I was there. I went and saw the movie in Texas because it came out in '86. And it was
Luke,
like...
Can I pause you 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just love when Jack's like, because I'm hearing him in his head, preach, Luke, preach. Every time he goes, yeah. I'm feeling the Transformers one flowing through me. Please continue.
But no, it ties into the expectations. When we saw that trailer, and y'all know how big of a Transformers fan I am. I mean, you guys are. I mean, I know Jack's up there as well. Duke, I think you are as well, at least. Into just liking it in general. And then we see that first trailer, and it's like, what the F is
wrote that shit right off. I was like,
no.
Was that the email? Was that my first trailer email? Was that? Did that come out?
It might have been the first. No, I don't think it was. But what happened was right after you sent that, the second trailer came out.
Yeah.
And it was actually looked good.
Yeah.
Then you watch the movie, and it was like, where did this come from? This movie is fantastic. I did not expect to see that, and Jack saw it recently.
We just saw it today. My
I was
wife had
going to say as recently as today.
had her college class, and I asked the girls, I'm like, "What do you want for dinner?" I'm like, "I don't know." I'm like, "Cool, we're having popcorn. Let's go watch your movie."
Popcorn and soda. Okay, perfect.
But it's the segue is that same thing, right? The marketing for Transformers 1 was brutally horrible.
Mhm.
It did not really explain what was happening with this movie. The transformation, no pun intended, of Megatron, becoming Megatron. It's not even his name in there. To become Megatron. Forget the whole Optimus. He has his thing too. But he's not the star of this. Megatron is. To watch his, and I might be biased because I like the bad guys, but I found his story more compelling just to go from what he was all about and what he liked, what he was into, and to have all that kicked in his head and turn his world upside down, to have him go down this darker path because of all this that happened. It was just like, how was this not presented to us as this is what we were going to get? We were going to see this. Because I would have been all aboard. That second trailer, I would have been all on board if I saw that second trailer first.
Sure.
So I'm glad whoever jumped in and said, "Hey guys, your first trailer sucks. So we're going to redo this," and it was great. Now, I don't think it's going to get the numbers that it should because of that first trailer, but it's going to be one of these movies that people pick up after the fact and be like, "Holy crap, this movie is phenomenal." So I'm already looking forward to the sequel. I mean, I have my own expectations as in want, but I don't care. I'm happy enough with what they did, not knowing what they were doing to get this great product that do whatever you want. But I would hope that the next storyline goes into like the whole war and then them ended up on Earth. That would be kind of fun for me because that's where obviously we pick it up in the pilot. So that would be kind of cool. The original 84 pilot. So that would be kind of cool. But yeah, the marketing, again, Joker, I think, is being punished for not letting people know what to expect. And Transformers 1 is being punished. And not in the sense that it's a bad movie, it's being punished that people aren't watching your good movie because they didn't let people know what to expect. And I mean, it's one of the things where it's still on my list to go watch it again in the theater. Just the timing with SO and the little one hasn't worked out right, so we can all go watch it. But when it does, hell yeah, it was just that good.
Well, and I think another aspect of the Joker too is that it's not near as dark as the first one. Like the first one is really,
first one is uncomfortable to watch.
Right. I've seen it once and I was like, I'm good. Like I enjoyed it and I thought the acting was great and I enjoyed the story, but it was also not one that when me and the person I saw it with, we walked out of the theater and we were like, man, that was a really good movie. We really enjoyed it. Oh, and we never need to see it again. You know, like
it's so funny, dude. You're like the third person I've heard say that.
But but this
one watched it twice because my oldest wanted to watch it before we saw this. But this is a very uncomfortable mood to me.
Yeah. Well, again, you're dealing with somebody's mental deterioration, right? Like you're seeing them devolve, when everything's abandoned, when every resource available to them has abandoned them to where they're living anything positive in their life is a fantasy. And once those fantasies get wrecked, what do they have left? And that's a really uncomfortable topic. You don't see very many movies that actually are as pointed about it as I feel like the first Joker movie was.
For sure. I think. Go ahead, finish that.
Well, and I was going to say, and the second one is the unwinding of that psyche, right? Like you get to a certain point and it's like, how does a person get to, the one bad day, right? The thing that everybody always says about Joker is all it took was one bad day for him to turn into a complete psychopath, right? But the second movie does a good job, in my opinion, of unwinding that, right? Could it have done a better job? Sure. But there's always room for improvement, right? Is it a perfect movie? No, not at all. But I feel like as far as the version that they wanted, the movie they wanted to tell and the things that they wanted to address, I feel like they did a good job with it. But it also wasn't uncomfortable. Like there were moments of it that were uncomfortable, but it wasn't uncomfortable overall like the first one was. The first one, you just felt dirty walking out of the theater. Like
I was fine. I mean, I didn't feel that. I was fine with it, but I guess that's me partly being
Yeah. You cry.
edge over it. No, that
Yeah,
was
this is
Wild
what-
Robot. Damn it, wrong movie. But yeah, no, I get that, and that goes back to what I was saying earlier about this movie, which is a great movie on the topic itself and how they handled that, and everything was well done with that. And it's unfortunate that this movie would not have been made if not for being in the DC universe, because that's a movie that should have been made, and it's separate from the DC universe. It's just a good movie and on the topic.
Well, and as much money as the first one made, right?
Oh, for real.
The first one,
For real.
the first
Totally
one,
unexpected.
it was a $20 million, $40 million movie, and they made 300. I'm
Billion bucks.
it made $300 million on a $20 million budget, right? Like the numbers are probably a little different, but I mean, again, when you're talking 10 times whatever you spent on it, you got back. Of course, you're going to greenlight the second one, right? I feel like
the director didn't want to. I remember when it first came out. He was like, we have no need. And then Warner Brothers is like, we want money.
Yeah. Well, and I think that's, going back to what we've talked on this a little bit in the past about Marvel. Like, this is what happens when you let somebody just make the movie they want to make regarding their IP, right? Like, this movie definitely did not feel like it had anybody from Warner Brothers looking over his shoulder saying, don't do this, do that, right? Like, I got the impression that he was basically given free reign. Here's the characters, like, do with them.
He said he wasn't going to do it unless he got it.
Right.
And he should. With this version of Joker, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah. And along those lines, are either of you guys watching Penguin?
I haven't started yet.
Waiting for it to finish.
So good.
That's what I've heard.
I'm really
nothing
enjoying.
but good things about things about Penguin.
I'm really
still
enjoying
working my
that a
way
lot.
through the new Batman cartoon.
except for like one or two episodes. The last arc was good.
The episode I just watched was the one where they had the hit on Commissioner Gordon. I like that one.
Oh yeah, that was one of them.
Yeah.
And then
The
Lou, your
episodes were just okay.
You're waiting on Agatha. Jack, where are you at?
Still waiting on
I
Agatha.
did not watch this week's yet.
Okay.
So there are another 5. You know what? I take that back. I'm waiting on Agatha. However, if timing works out where SO wanted to watch it, because we're good, we're caught up, let's watch this, I would do it. I don't have to wait for that one.
Yeah.
Penguin, I think I want to wait for that.
Sure.
I want to be able to binge that one on a Saturday. Just knock all the episodes out. But again, nothing. But I haven't heard one bad thing about that one yet.
I
I
feel
don't hear
like
anything good about it either. I don't hear anything about it.
That's surprising, actually.
I'm enjoying it that it's a character that we're familiar with, and they're not shoehorning in a bunch of other characters from the Batman universe.
Around.
Like it's a very
Just
the mob families and stuff like that are around, and there's mentions of other characters, but it's really, really, really focused on Penguin, and I like that a lot because like Colin Farrell you don't even know it's him. Like 99% of the time, you don't even know it's him. Like his persona until they zoom in on his eyes, and then you see Colin Farrell. But if they were talking to the girl who played Sophia Falcone, the other lead of the show, and she said like she got so comfortable, like she had never met him before, and the first time she met him, he was in the Penguin outfit, because it takes like 6 hours to put on because it's a full bodysuit, head to toe. So they put it on in the morning, and he just wears it all day. And she said like the first time that she saw him at like one of the premieres was one of the first times she had seen him in person without the costume on, and she said it was like she said she had a hard time with it. Like it was difficult because she was so used to seeing him in this.
That's wild.
Again, it's like if I shaved and everybody would be like, holy fuck, what's not to equate me taking 5 minutes to shave to Colin Farrell taking 6 hours to put makeup.
5 minutes, my ass. Don't even give me that. It'd be just about 6 hours also.
Fair. Because
The
there'd be
thing I have heard about it, I don't know if it was a joke or not, but people are mad that they took Colin Farrell and now he's taking away jobs from fat actors.
Brendan Fraser.
Yeah, I don't know why he couldn't method act like Joaquin Phoenix.
He
Just add
lose all the weight.
150 pounds and break his ankle, so he had to wear a brace. And
Where's your commitment, people?
Get
Right?
liver spots.
That is some of the dumbest shit out there. We need a fat person to be a fat. We need a skinny person. That probably has to work if you need a skinny person. You could only a black person can voice black cartoon characters
Nope.
or Asian. That is the dumbest thing ever. Ugh.
But no, both shows I feel like I'm really enjoying both Agatha and Penguin, and I like the fact that they're universes that I'm familiar with, but characters that I'm not tired of. If that makes sense. Like,
I hear you.
Well, luckily with Agatha, they really didn't force her into anything else. They couldn't, right? So you didn't get sick of her because you couldn't.
right.
For those who care, obviously not everybody's watching it because the numbers, I've heard the numbers are shitty for their views. But for those that are watching it, are the ones who care about watching it, and they're enjoying the show. I don't really hear too much bad about that show either. The ones who are watching it want to watch it, and they're enjoying what they're seeing. So, look, I'll take that.
Which is how life should be.
I want that one. It's funny. If I were to pick, Agatha is actually the one I'm more interested in watching right now.
Yeah.
But I'm being patient. I was like something I was looking at yesterday or whatever it was. The game was on tonight, so tomorrow, maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But as I was going to dad in town, middle has a recital musical. Is that choir performance, whatever. I think recitals, and the name. One of them is this, and one of them is that. I think music means recital.
Somebody's singing.
So so it's on pause. But I did when I pulled up my my YouTube subscriptions to see to catch up on whatever pop culture news is going on. I saw it's like, what is it? Easter eggs for Agatha episode 5. I'm like, damn, they're already on 5. I'm like, shoot, they only got 4 more to go. So it's like wait the month and just catch up at the end of the month, early next month, or just like, come on, can we get this going?
Right, let's go.
I want to watch it. Penguin, it's like, they're at episode 3 or whatever. I'm like, I can wait on Penguin, but I want to watch Agatha like ASAP.
I think it also has to do with, Penguin's going to be heavy.
Probably true, yeah.
So tonally, they're going to be totally different shows.
Yeah.
Whereas Agatha's more, hey, this is fun, magic, But Penguin to me seems more heavy.
Magic. I don't know if
you're right though.
Magic,
I expect to have popcorn for Agatha and a mixed drink for Penguin. So,
What is Penguin drink? That's what I'm going to drink while I watch Penguin.
I would think Penguin martini.
Bourbon. You think so, Martin? Well,
because he wants to present himself as being
as professional, sophisticated.
As our
right.
third here, Mr. I'm not,
Mr. Bougie.
Yeah, I'm not bougie. We're going to go in the casino and it's just going to be martini glasses, and it's like, wait a second.
Yep.
Sorry,
proper mix
and Los Cat mugs from Oga.
The whole freaking cart, like on Gilmore Girls, the parents had the freaking actual alcohol proper cart and everything.
Yeah,
a bucket of ice.
Yeah,
we're gonna have an ice chipper and all that.
We're gonna be sitting by the pool, and Jack's like, "Let me bring the cart out so we can have some mixed drinks." Actually, hang on,
Jeeves. You need a friend named Alfred. You can hire somebody named Alfred just to
there you go. Exactly.
make our drinks. That'd be awesome.
Have you eaten today, Master Jack? I brought you a sandwich. Though, that Lou and I are just going to spend the whole time pulling on all the bus to see which one opens up the clock to go down into the Jack can.
Right? Which one of these is... Yeah, exactly. Which one of the... Okay, this frame is a little bit crooked. This one. Well, don't worry. If there's anything crooked by the time I get there, it won't be by the time I leave.
Right. I was going to put stuff in the general area where I want it, and Lou's going to be like...
It's like, that's like, hang on. Hey, we're going to do this. Okay, you guys go right ahead. I'll be out there in a minute.
I'll leave a level, just nonchalantly on the counter.
Bruh, I was just going to say, I'm like, do I need to bring my own level, or do you got one? I got 3, so.
No, level 1, when we were moving and cleaning out grandma's stuff, she found this tool bag that her grandma had, and it's like all these pink tools. They're like actual tools, but they're pink. She had walk around the house with that thing on. You need a hammer, Daddy? I got a screwdriver.
If you don't have a hydro spanner, get the fuck out.
Hydrosphere.
I was gonna say Lou actually has a second check bag. Is just all levels. It's picture
Levels
level.
and the laser.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that too.
And
yeah.
shims. It's just it's like a half of suitcase of shims for him to be able to well, what about those boxes behind your left shoulder, son?
Oh my god.
Those are books. I haven't brought my bookshelf over yet.
But try to convince our fans that you can read. That's cute.
One of them's a Star Wars pop-up book.
Yep,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Well, if you're reading Star Wars,
That
it's
checks.
popping up already. That makes sense.
It's actually a really cool book. I like it.
Was it the big? It's the thick one, right? Where
Yeah,
every
a
of
huge
them,
one.
like-
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I do
that.
have an Alexa in here. This is my Alexa for the bedroom. Darth Vader's in the actual house in my bedroom on the wife's side of the bed, obviously.
Do you have one of those? I can't remember. 'Cause I got it from you guys. The Vader candle. You guys have
Yeah,
one of the candle things in your casino.
It will be.
Oh, okay. Which one do you have?
I have Vader, Grogu, Cloud City, maybe Boba Fett, a TIE Fighter. So I'm going to program Alexa when I come in. I'm like, Alexa, what an interesting smell you've discovered. Bam, she just turns them on.
From dailyhive.com. This year, one of those
Alexa, stop. Why am I talking to you right now?
Oh my god, that's
You're
funny.
just going to drive Lou crazy because he's just going to be laying in bed, just 5 cents assaulting him. 5 different scents, just like, man, Jack, I roll over one way and it's vanilla, and I roll over the other way and it's sandalwood, and I lay on my back and it's leather, and I just, oh my god.
That's not what bothered me.
All right, we'll find out in a couple.
We'll find
weeks.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm curious. I mean,
No, I don't have them plugged. I don't have any of them hooked up yet, though. They are here, but they're still in the box.
Let's be real. It ain't being handled in the next 3 days either.
Yeah, no. Like I said, I might get the Xbox up and running for you in case you decide to watch TV, but
Won't have time. Not even like, dude. Our flight's at 6 a.m. We land at 7 a.m. There's no.
10 o'clock
There's no
game or
time
1 o'clock game?
It's a 1
it's a
o'clock.
1 o'clock game.
Then the hockey game is what time?
7.
That's what I thought, right? It's like 7 or 8.
I think it's 7.
So there's that. So that's another 3 hours. So yeah, after a long day, you won't have time to watch. Won't even want to watch anything. It's gonna be, dude, I'm gonna try to stay awake and drive back. That's gonna be the thing. It's like we stay awake and the drive back to the house. It's gonna be a long ass day. But again, there's opportunity to sleep on the plane. So it's like, so get up early, do all that, but sleep the 2 hours on the plane. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
and it's all carry on, so don't worry about a check bag. So I got one carry on and then your box of stuff.
Which one of you lives in the hood?
I know, right? That ain't me.
Ain't me.
Oh, okay. I was like, that ain't.
I think it's just.
I'm in Boulder, dog. If the only police that get out here, they're up on the hill where the college kids are because breaking and entering, and it's number one. I was going to be violent. It's the number one crime out here. It's because the drunk kids walk into the wrong house. So they get called for breaking and entering. They're not really breaking and entering. They just think they're in the house. But that's the number one list. Whatever the crime ticker, whatever. That's number one.
Yeah. Until you get shot.
Huh? Well, it's Boulder. I'm like the only person with it.
Way to fit the stereotype, Lou.
Right, for real. As he drinks his red drink.
Yeah.
Which actually is kind of purple now because I mixed purple and red. So I made a purple one, froze it a little too much, so I drank all the liquid part out of it. The part that was still icy is still purple. I added red to it because I have a jug, a 2-quart jug in the fridge. It's like, oh, let's just add that to the purple. That way I get colder longer. You know?
Okay.
And then I thought the same thing. And I was sitting there drinking, and I was like, about perpetuating some stereotypes. The guy who had a roast chicken for dinner earlier.
I didn't know this was Lou's cooking corner part of the episode.
For real, y'all. Mix purple and red, and then put on some gloves and tear apart a chicken. Don't even need any sides. Just saying.
He'll make it with his Steelers crock pot.
There you go.
You know what? That's how I made the pork the other day, actually. Sure did. I took a little pork roast, threw it in the crock pot, some chicken broth, some seasoning, folks. Shred it up, make some sandwiches. Adds a little bit of pepperoncinis to it on a sandwich with some Swiss.
Yeah. Did you Salt Bay it?
Did you Salt Bay it? No. I should have. That would have been my white people shit for the week.
That could have been your white people shit of the week.
That ain't no joke. Yeah. I did go to brunch, though, for my white person thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
I went with SO and the two girls, and we went to Golden Corral. Because there's not really a lot of, but it's Colorado. You don't have buffet options. You're going to the Chinese buffet, or you're going to Golden Corral. Well, I guess there's CC's Pizza out here. I do that like once or twice a year. So, but yeah, and it was brunch time
anymore.
CC's? Damn.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you know what? That's
you just
fair.
have that Metro.
We used to have 4.
That and those 2 cops got killed there. So.
Oh yeah, that'll do it. But yeah, what I'm doing is like I don't bet a lot anymore. But when I do and I win, it's like I don't consider that like winnings per se. I consider it meal trips. It's like, oh, that's 2 trips to Golden Corral. Oh, I just won a trip to Red Lobster. And that's usually how I do. It's like, oh, today's a bad day. I guess I'm going to McDonald's to get the 5.
Damn, I have 132 CC's in Texas.
Well, Texas is pretty big.
There's only 2 in Colorado, though.
Yeah, though there's one by Casa Bonita that South Park spoofed.
Lakewood and Aurora.
Well, they just came out with a documentary.
Lakewood is the one that's by the Casa Bonita from South Park. The Aurora one, they're like, oh yeah, I do know that. That's by the Magic Shop. I went to that one when I was playing Magic for tournaments. Because obviously cheap eats, right? $8, $10, and just eat all the pizza you want. Especially me nowadays, where I'm not really doing the bread, so it's like, oh, pizza topping. So I'll do a salad, and then I'm eating pizza toppings the rest of the time.
So there's 273 locations total, and 132 of those are in Texas.
Wait, is that worldwide or countrywide? Is it only in the
United States?
Is it? I wonder if is it only in the United States?
I think it is.
And half of them are in Texas?
Yeah.
Over half, yeah. I just saw a trailer today for that Casa Bonita place. The South Park guy bought it. One of the South Park guys.
Yeah, they've run it for a couple years, I think.
They bought it a couple years. They finally opened it up. It was I got to go for a work event. They were doing private events only, but there was I think we were a party of 60 or something like that, 50 or 60, and I got to be one of them. So nice place. I couldn't make the reference. Like a lot of people who were there, oh, I remember it the first time before they bought it over and how it was and how everyone like the food sucks and the entertainment is nice, but the food is horrible. I enjoyed the food, so apparently they changed that because the people there were talking about how they enjoyed.
Did they have the dudes diving in the waterfalls?
Yep. There was a guy. There's a guy and a girl that every half hour or whatever. The entertainment factor is really spot on. You're paying $40 a person, but not gonna lie, man, I enjoyed it, and I'd easily go back once the rush calms down because they're doing lotto to get a reservation. I mean, that's how bad it is. So
yeah.
And it finally just opened up I want to say they're Casa Bonita members, or like there's like a tier thing you do.
Yeah.
But when in a couple of years, whatever, when it calms down, and I can you can do a reservation for like in a couple of weeks. Okay, fine. I'll go again. I did enjoy it. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sad that I didn't go the first time before it all switched over to make the comparison. But all the people that I knew who were there who did do that, they made the comparison, and they all said it's way better now. So I was like, okay, well, that's good. At least I'm getting the good side of it. So.
Right.
But yeah, totally enjoyable.
They just came out with I think it came out today. There's a documentary on Paramount Plus about it. So, which makes sense because they have. I think Paramount owns Comedy Central, so they own South Park, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not realize. Okay, cool. But I guess so, because when all the specials were coming out the last couple of years, they would just stream them.
Real quick, sports news. I guess it's good that they let Robert Salah come back to the States before they fired him, because they could have just fired him in London and been like,
dude, it's so funny. I was thinking that too. I'm all like, were they polite and waited to fire until they got back, and they wanted to fire him sooner? And they were just being cool about it. I was like, yeah, I was totally curious about that shit. I was like, well, the same thing. I was like, at least they let him back home before they did it.
The people that knew, I'm sure that was the most awkward flight home.
Oh, yeah.
They're just on the plane like, Yeah, Robert, let's play cards. Nope, you probably shouldn't bet that much. Just saying. I mean, maybe you just want to
Nah,
pace
he
yourself
gets-
a
Cut
little.
it off a little bit.
Nah, coaches' contracts are fully guaranteed.
Sweet.
So he can have a 5-year contract, get fired after the first year, and it's guaranteed the other 4.
I'm going for the Raiders
I'm-
job next time then.
I'm taking
Shoot,
taking a collection to buy the Twins. So anybody wants to contribute to I'm going to put up a GoFundMe.
to buy Twins.
The Minnesota
The
Twins.
Oh, that's right. What is it? 1 to 2 billion or 1.5 to 2?
I think it's 1.5 to 2.
I saw the ticker on SportsCenter come across the bottom.
I already got $5, so I got their payroll from last year covered, so we're good.
Dude, for real. Do they take a check?
I know,
Check.
a post-dated check.
Yeah, just be good to go. It's funny though. I did see. What was I watching? When did I don't remember if it was either I was watching a football game tonight, or if I was watching like highlights of the earlier baseball games when I saw that come across. And I did think of you, Duke. I was like, does Duke care that the Twins are being sold?
I'm excited.
Okay, all right.
I mean,
all right.
it's I mean, after the A's, like the Twins ownership is like some of the worst.
Oh, I thought the White Sox was the worst, and the Rockies.
They're right in there, right?
Okay,
like they win.
Top
they
five,
won.
top five.
They won. Yeah, they won the AL Central Championship in 2023. So for 2024, they cut the payroll of the team by $30 million. Like and barely, like they're barely. They're only a few $1 million above what what they have to spend, right? Like, so baseball has a floor that you have to spend so much money on your team. And they're only 5 or 10 above that. Like, they're in the bottom 25% of payrolls.
Yikes. Yeah, I did not know that it was that bad. Like, obviously being out here, everybody was talking about the Marlins, the White Sox, and the Rockies. Yeah. And the Rockies, because the Rockies have been bad for so long with the ownership. Like I was telling you guys a few episodes ago, by a few I mean like 20, that the Rockies owner he just cares about getting his paycheck because again, with all the revenue share and everything, it sounds like the whole Minnesota thing. You're not going to buff-foot a team. You got a manager who's had a losing record for like 6 straight years, but he's fine. The owner's fine losing because he still makes his money. He's not all about like the Broncos. I hate to say it, but the Broncos are going to be good again, and it's going to suck. But it's because the ownership, the Walmart people, they've got the money. They care about the product because they have money. They don't have to worry about the money. So it's like, look, I'm just trying to balance. No, get whatever we need here to win. We want to be competitive. We want to dethrone the Chiefs, all this stuff. I was like, damn, that's good ownership. They're going to get it right. I wish the fans were better out here. I mean, I could appreciate the Broncos. I can never be a fan because I have my own fandom, but I could at least appreciate the fans if they could just be smarter. That's it. Just be realistic. Like now, they're 3-2. They're going to make the playoffs. I'm like, well, they might. And then you got some. I mean, it's unrealistic in my opinion. Still, I think they're getting lucky. Like they definitely should have lost to the Jets. They got lucky, man. It's like they got a bad weather game. I don't think they do as well if it's a proper quote unquote proper weather game. However, they should have beat the Raiders. The Raiders are so bad right now. They had 7 starters out that game, and they still. I mean, and the Raiders were still in it. If the Raiders get that touchdown to go up 17-3 instead of getting rid of the pick 6 to go 10-10. That's a whole different ballgame because now the rookie quarterback will have to throw all day, and he's not good at it. And it's a different game. I think the Raiders win if Minshew doesn't throw that pick 6. So, and it's so easy, too. It's like, dude, you threw it 5 feet over his head.
And that's why Aiden O'Connell's starting this week.
Yeah.
Oh, is that official? Is that official?
Yep. I think they announced it this morning.
About time. Why don't you just trade for Russell Wilson? Although Pittsburgh getting on my goddamn nerves, man. It's like, so Pittsburgh scored 24 points last week not this past week, but the week before, against the Colts because they were behind and they had to throw the ball. And Justin Fields went off, 300-plus passing yards, a couple touchdowns. So we come back to the Cowboys and let's tone it down. Cowboys are missing 2 of their starters in the secondary and 2 of their starters in the front line between Micah Parsons and Jack Lawrence. I think it was Lawrence. Either way, it's like, take advantage of this shit. No, we're going to run it for 2 yards, run it for 2 yards, throw it for 4 yards, and punt. It's like, so, yeah, like if you're going to do that, just put Russell Wilson. I mean, it's like, what the hell?
But I mean,
isn't
that the plan? Like, he's been hurt, but they're running out of runway.
Sort of. He's not hurt. He's barely hurt anymore. He's practiced this week. I believe they're moving him from the emergency quarterback to, which is what people are like, if Russell Wilson is inactive, why is he suiting up? He's such a tool. I'm like, do you not understand football that much?
No.
And some people don't. But it's like, say you don't understand it. Don't try to think you know what I mean? Don't try to think you understand it. If you're the emergency quarterback, you're first of all, you're inactive. You're the emergency quarterback, so you dress up anyway. And you could only go in if the first 2 quarterbacks get hurt. You cannot just go from quarterback 1 to quarterback 3.
Yeah.
You have to, 1 has to get hurt, 2 has to get hurt, then you can go in. 1 and 2 you could swap all day.
Right.
And people don't. It's like, why is Russell still is such a tool? I'm like, yes, Russell is a tool, but that's not why he suited up. He suited up because he has to be. But I'm hearing now he's actually going to be the number 2 quarterback this week. So if they don't move the ball with Justin, they could switch over to Russ this week. If they can't move the ball against a hurt Raiders team, I don't know. Is Max Crosby playing?
Yep.
Never mind.
Max Crosby always plays. That motherfucker has not missed a game.
He did. He missed.
He missed one.
What game did he? He did miss a game. He was very mad about it. He has never. He's like, I've never missed a game since like 2019 or something. He was very upset about it.
Yeah. So it'll be an interesting game this week. I mean, Pittsburgh's 3-2. They probably should be 5-0. But I don't think they're a 5-0 team. Like, they're not competing with the Chiefs.
I mean, they're not the Vikings. Hello.
No, I mean, yeah, they're not competing with those teams. Yeah, not everybody can be the Vikings. I mean, that's what we strive for these days. But again, realistic fan. I see the team and I'm like, you're not as good as your record shows. First of all, 3-2 could be 2-3, could be 5-0, could be 1-4. I mean, it's so many. They could have a win against freaking Denver, and that would be realistic if they were a 1-4 team right now. But the way it played out, they could easily be 5-0. They just fucking shoot themselves in the foot so many times.
Just to speak on my team for a second. This feels like a different team, like in my 2 cents, right? The fact that they've had terrible second halves in 2 games in a row, and yet they were still able to gut out the wins when if it's the same team 5 years ago, the same team 10 years ago, they're 2-4 at this point, 2-3 at this point. Because there was a moment of time when you start seeing the wheels fall off, and you just are like, from a Vikings fan, the second the wheels start falling off, they're already off and 10 miles back. You just didn't realize it, right? But this team is different.
No, why, right?
I mean,
you got a USC quarterback. That's what happens. You get a USC quarterback, and just like Chicago. Chicago starting to look good. Why? They have a USC quarterback. It's crazy. Fight on, Trojans. But yeah, no, the Vikings are an interesting team because they should have lost to the Jets. If Aaron Rodgers doesn't get hurt, he can step into that throw and not underthrow it. However, 2 years ago, not last year, but 2 years ago, the Vikings were like 9-0 in 1-score games.
Right.
They've learned to be a winning team. And that's something you have to do. You have to get rid of that culture of being a loser. And I think you're right. I think they finally got there. Their defense is fantastic. Their offense, I mean, with Addison back, but they get Addison back and lose Aaron Jones, so that kind of sucks. But
they're on the bye this week, so Jones helps a lot. Aaron Jones has 2 weeks to get better. Hopefully, when we come back against the Lions, Hawk comes back and we get our number 1 tight end, and then you can't double three guys. Just saying.
I've seen some movies where they can, but I know what you
actually have.
Hey, green door.
Oh, I guess 3 guys.
Yeah. What?
3 guys, no cup.
So yeah, I think you're right. I think this is a very different focused team, let's be real, the entire NFC North can make the playoffs.
Right.
It's ridiculous. Wait, actually they can't because only 2 wildcard teams. Oh, no, there's 3 now because there's 7.
Yeah.
I'm thinking there's 6. Yeah, so you could actually have a situation where they all beat up each other. Everybody went through division games at home, and then they beat everybody else up. And next thing you know, you've got the Vikings winning the division, and then the other 3 freaking as playoff wildcard teams. That would be crazy. Freaking insane.
Yeah.
But you look at the rest of the NFC, I mean, only one's coming out of the NFC East, either Philly or Dallas, most likely.
Yeah, whoever doesn't step on their dicks.
Exactly. Washington's stepping it up 4-1, so they have an opportunity.
Yeah.
The NFC South, Atlanta, or I don't trust the Saints.
No.
So Atlanta or Tampa. Tampa's, I don't know. They seem like the better team, but they keep talking about stepping on your dicks. That's Tampa.
Yeah.
And then the NFC West, you're only going to get the winner out of there because they're all beating each other up, and everybody's hurt over there in NFC West. So
yeah.
San Francisco, when they get healthy, they're the best team.
Yeah.
I mean, if they can get healthy, it'll be San Francisco, it'll be like Tampa or Atlanta, it'll be Philly or Washington, and it'll be the entire NFC North. That would be kind of funny. I would be okay with that. That would be kind of fun.
No, I'm pretty
cautiously optimistic over there.
I mean, again, I'm trying to be a realistic fan, right? I've been 5-0. I'm so tired of the who's the MVP? If the playoffs started today, I don't care about any of that shit. We're a fucking third of the way through this. Not even a third of the way through this season.
Not even a third.
Yeah, come on, nobody gives a shit.
Yep, I'm with you. I hate all that shit.
But again, that they got to fill time, right? You got 20. Yeah. You have a whole channel dedicated to the NFL that you got to fill 24 hours a day with. You know,
you can only replay the previous week's game so many times.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you can only have so many classic NFL games. You know.
Yeah,
but
so
we'll see. They're off this week, so I have a nice quiet week.
I'm with you on Hawk though, man. I've got him in 3 of my fantasy leagues.
Yeah, I have him on the IR on 2 of my leagues because I was just like, when he comes back, I mean, it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see how defenses play.
Yeah, when he comes back, I'm starting Sam Darnold in every daily fantasy league I'm going to be in because, like you said. Double Hawk, okay. Are you really gonna give just Jefferson 1-on-1?
Yeah,
You out of your mind.
Well, and we saw what happened when the Jets tried to do that last week with mugging him at the line and pulling and tugging the whole time. Is you're getting holding penalties, you're getting pass interference. I mean,
illegal contact.
Yeah,
all of it.
I think Jefferson had more yards in pass interference penalties than he did in catches.
And actual yards.
Because. He would blow by the guy. They'd grab him, whether it was Sauce or the other guy. Flag. Okay. At least it wasn't a touchdown, right?
That's honestly, if I'm a defensive coach, that's my style. Whoever your number one, everybody's like, oh, put your number one defensive back on their number one. No, that's stupid. You double team him with your 2 weaker people. Somebody short, somebody long, so he can't run by you and you can't get the short. You double him. You put your number 1 defensive back on their number 2 guy. You should be able to shut him down. So I just it was I want to see back in the day, 30 years ago, I want to see Dion on Jerry Rice. I don't. I want to see Dion on whoever John Taylor or whoever. I want to see and then double team Jerry Rice.
You mean Ronnie Lott? John Taylor, I think, was the running back.
No, John Taylor was the other receiver. Ronnie Lott was the defensive back, the safety.
Sorry, I thought you were talking defenses. Sorry, my head.
Well, Dion for the Falcons and the Cowboys.
I was like, wait a second.
Yeah, so you put Dion on John Taylor, and you double up Jerry Rice.
Yeah,
and then you got to deal with the freaking tight end, of course. But still, Minnesota is going to love to have this problem in 2 weeks. So,
yeah.
Well, assuming Hawk's back.
But I know
not to mention Addison. Addison's a Blitnikoff Award winner in the college, best wide receiver. So you've got him on one side, Jefferson on the other side. You've got Hawk in the tight end spot. Aaron Jones. I mean, their offensive line is pretty damn good. As long as everybody's healthy, knock on wood, Minnesota is going to be a force to be reckoned. And as more, I mean, as the Giants who are out of it don't care, and Steelers being in the AFC, I'm all right to see it. I've always kind of rooted for it. Ever since Randy Moss, I've rooted for it. It'll be fun. Jack's
like I said, good football.
Yep, that's all I care about. Good football. I don't care who's playing it, as long as it's not the Broncos.
Jack, how long of a leash do you think they give Pierce?
I don't know, dude. If he doesn't shape up, I could see him booting him.
I don't. Not
you don't
this
think so?
year. It's not his fault. It's not his fault he don't have a quarterback. It's the ownership. Can you pay to bring me a quarterback in the offseason? You could. I mean, you want this one? You got to pay for him. You want this one? Yeah, we'd rather pay $20 million for our quarterback or $15 million instead of paying $40. You know, Ryan Tannehill was out there, experienced and well in Tennessee.
Oh, Fitzmagic. That's who's out there right now.
That's the no. Well, I'm thinking with Tannehill. Fitzpatrick is retired, but Ryan Tannehill is still available. It's like, what are you doing? I mean, if they didn't even bother bringing him in to compete with, where the paperwork's out on Minshew. We know what his story is. Aiden, we saw last year. We know what his story is. Everybody knew the Raiders didn't have a quarterback. Now, if this is a rebuild, I support this. Getting Brock Bowers as your tight end, especially in the AFC West, that is a fantastic move. And then you just suck this year and expect to suck this year. I have no problem with that. And then next year, you draft Carson Beck or Shador Sanders, whomever, right? You get whatever quarterback is available in the draft next year. And then now you have your line built. You've got your receivers done. You've got your draft a running back, obviously, because the running back game is horrible, getting rid of Jacobs. But I get it. If it's a rebuild, call it a rebuild. Let your fans know that we're going to be 4-13 this year. We're going to get our quarterback of the future. And boom, that's what the Broncos are doing, right? Except the Broncos don't want to call it because their fans are so stupid. They don't want to call it a rebuild. So, but that's what they're doing without saying the word. Just that there's nothing wrong. Think about the Detroit Lions. Detroit Lions started this 3 years ago, the 2021 draft. Look at them now. They're going to be a powerhouse for the next 5 years. That's what you want. So the Raiders just have to, like I said, I'm not going to throw Pierce under the bus in this situation when he doesn't have a quarterback. Now, he gets a quarterback and it still looks like this, then I find it. But that's different. But you got to give, it's like, oh, cool. I need you to make a sandwich, but you don't get any bread, mayonnaise, meat, or cheese. Okay, go. That's the situation.
Lose out with no mayonnaise. Lose like I quit.
If I can't have mayonnaise on my ham sandwich, we're not that. I'm gone. Matter of fact, as soon as I open the current jar, I'm buying another one to make sure there's a backup ready just in case. There's always an extra one in there, unless it's peanut butter and jelly. And even then, you got to toast the peanut butter and jelly, and then make sure the jelly's on top, the top piece of the bread.
No, I peanut butter on, then put the jelly on it and mix it up with the spoon.
Lou likes his jelly like he likes his women on top.
You got me sweating again, man. What are you doing? What are you doing? It's honey. Oh, you gonna have this messy ass. Oh no. It's not. One of those who's like, I'm gonna have a piece of freaking peanut butter bread and then take a scoop of jelly and put it in and fold it up like a taco. Like,
no, it's stupid.
I've seen people do it, man. I've seen people.
Nope, stupid.
Stupid is doing that when you toast the bread, and now you got to break and fold in it, and you got jelly
now
gonna
there's crumbs
fall
everywhere.
The damn thing. It is like, right? That's why you have the gloves on, so you don't get crumbs all over.
But the crumbs are still on the counter, the floor.
I mean, no, they're on the
shirt.
Plate. Unless you didn't use a paper plate. You can't put those on.
It is weird. I use the girls' plates. It's like these little IKEA plates.
Yeah. Man, there are rules. Mix the jelly and peanut butter. You may as well just buy that nasty ass jar that's already
that goober stuff. No.
You just make your own anyway, so why not?
I'm bougie.
Oh, that's right. Totally fair. Full circle.
He ain't using that Smucker's bullshit.
What I say about a short night? It's hour 27. What the hell?
I know. There's not even any lubricants to cut out.
I know, right? I was like, I don't think there was any. I was looking for some, and it was like, well, we all know Kamala is an idiot. We saw her
so close. We're so close.
I know, right? You were so close, Jack.
Yeah.
But I'm sure you guys saw the CNN.
No.
Oh, I forgot.
Don't need to hear about it.
There's nothing, honestly, nothing to hear about. It's like, more of the same old shit where she's a tough
I did see Marjorie Taylor Greene says that the Democrats have weather machines and they're causing all these hurricanes to wipe out the red states.
I heard several people say that, not just her. And then it's like, do we control the weather? Can we control the weather? I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we could. I think it's a little bit stupid if to talk about it's a red state, blue state thing. But it's science. There's enough science out there where you could trigger some shit to happen. Not that big a deal.
And if we do, why don't we just throw a nuke at the hurricane like Trump said?
Do I think it's happening? No, I don't think that's what's happening. But I think it could. I mean, I saw the core. I know what's up. I saw that.
Okay. All right.
Dick's like
anytime you're using the core as your reference for science.
What? It's such a good
done.
movie. It's such a good movie.
You know what?
It's so realistic.
Right. I've seen Armageddon. I know what's up.
Right, exactly. That could happen too. Deep Impact.
They actually use Armageddon in NASA training to point out the errors. There's 157.
Oh, that's actually kind of cool. Like, yeah, honestly, I'd want to watch that documentary. That sounds pretty cool.
All right. 2026, we're sending Lou to space camp.
Shit. My OCD, yeah, right. Oh, my God.
No, your OCD would be great because everything's a process.
Contained soup, huh?
Yeah, everything's a process. Everything's 1, 2, 3, 4. You got to follow the steps.
No, it actually might be okay.
So your OCD should be fine.
You do have to pee your pants, though.
I mean, do we have a catheter or something? How does that work?
I don't know.
It's suction.
Yeah.
I think I saw something where it's like, there's like suction. That's fine. I'll be peeing all day. Hell yeah. What are you doing? Getting sucked off
Lou?
again?
Where's Lou? In the bathroom again?
Yeah. Yes, again.
How tiny is your bladder?
Man, well, I had the doctor shrink it on purpose. just for this trip.
It's the same. The weather machines, they can also shrink your bladder. Like
they should be able to if they can make tornadoes and twin tornadoes and twin hurricanes.
Did see something
wait. Seriously though, you guys seriously think that the government? I don't care. You not U.S. government, China. You don't think the technology is out there to manipulate the weather?
I think it could be.
Oh yeah. That part is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just talking about the science itself existing. I'm like, I would not be surprised if that science existed. But I guess that the Dems are using that, or even if the other way around, that's just a stupid ass thing.
But I guess it would. My question would be, what level are we talking about here? Are we talking about like seeding clouds to create rain? Sure, that science exists. Everyone knows about that. But
those are chemtrails.
There you go. See. He's sweating again. Lou's sweating again.
Lou's good.
But to say yes, they can make the air a certain temperature and make the water a certain temperature and cause the layers that would, if you want to say, they can control the weather and create hurricanes, like the level of things that would have to happen to create the hurricane when nobody really understands how hurricanes are. I mean, we have like a general idea about how hurricanes are created, but I don't think we have a really good understanding of why they happen at like a specific spot or particular time, right? Like it happens
a lot in Duckburg.
There you go.
Life is like that out there.
Yeah,
it really
is.
A bunch of lasers, airplanes,
race cars.
Well,
it's all a blur.
Until we nominate. What was the pilot from
Launchpad?
Yeah,
there you go. Yeah. Until we nominate Launchpad to be in charge of NOAA, I think we're safe.
We'll
All
see.
right.
In the meantime, I got another. What is this now? The 11th. So I've got another 3 weeks of the Democrats making hurricanes to mess up all the red
I think Jack is getting delirious.
I think. All right. So we'll skip ahead to. Like I told you, I was hoping that my appreciative thing would be this job. I got the call on Monday morning. They called me and was like, "Hey, how do you think your interview went with people? I think I thought it went great team, great people. Like, okay, fantastic to hear. I'd like to present to you a oral offer, and then we'll send a written one later if you accept. Blah blah blah. So, like, yes,
I do like oral offers.
Can we do the oral offer in person?
Right, that would have been better. I could have given her all my personal information right there and then.
Yeah. Do you need a DNA sample?
So yeah, overall fantastic. Went well. I was on the phone about 20 minutes, and then it was like, fill out this information to approve the background check. And
sure.
DMV check, since my job includes Stripe.
You
did all that, submitted it.
Negotiate anything, or you just take what they gave you?
No. I presented at the interview what I wanted,
nice,
and got it.
Nice.
So it was like, the different ranges of this, the different reimbursements of that. I was like, well, this is what I'm used to. This is what I'm familiar with, and I'd like this, everything.
Yeah.
And including the time, how I want it I want to be able, if I have something coming up, because I'm not supposed to be able to work from home until the 90-day probation period. I'm like, look, I've been doing this job for 22 years. I don't need that probation period. I need to learn your systems and learn your software and learn your stuff. But overall, I know how to manage a property, or 8 or 10 or whatever. Most I've had is 14 at once. So that's just HOAs. I was like, okay, we understand. I was like, okay. Then during the conversation, like, okay, you got it. So basically, they're still the prove-it point. Obviously, they don't know me. They just know what I told them in my experience. Right. It's like, okay, yeah, you've been doing this since January 2002. I was like, yeah, I pretty much have this down. I just don't. The hardest part, quote unquote, hard part to be for me is learning your stuff. I don't know your software.
Your system.
I don't know your stuff.
Processes.
But
even software, just processes. Like
it really is. I need to what do you guys do for this and what do you guys do for that? But overall, you need to have me run a meeting. Got it. You need to have me you don't need to hold my hand for that
creating
stuff.
I
was able to during the second interview is when I was like, okay, we need to talk about compensation and all the factors that go with. And then this one, they were like, when I asked them, was like, so how are we looking at with the compensation package? They were like, well, we usually don't do this, but they try to be nice about it. It's like the games. I would play the same game. Well, we usually don't, but for you, we're gonna do this. I'm like, okay,
right.
Yeah, I get. Okay, used car salesman, I get it. But no, it was fine. It was. Our industry is pretty standard. Like we all almost have the same thing. Your experienced managers make this. Your portfolio is this. Your reimbursement amount is this. Your time off. Time off's a little more than I was expecting. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know.
What's wrong with that?
I don't know how we get 11 holidays in the calendar. And you get your birthday off, which you can roll over, and you get, if you don't want to use it for your actual birthday, timing wise, let's say it's on a Saturday, use it whenever. But you get 11 holidays, and I was trying to do the math, and I was like, okay, New Year's, I'm thinking basics, so we'll backtrack and fill in, right? But I was like, okay, New Year's is one, and then
President's Day.
See, that's not usually one, but okay, President, then March rather, no. March, April,
Memorial
May, Memorial, June, no, July 4th,
Juneteenth,
September. They might do June. September. That leaves, that's 6. So I've got
November, Veterans Day.
More. Veterans, Thanksgiving, Christmas.
You get 2 days for Thanksgiving.
2 more. If they do, then I'm still missing one. Martin Luther King,
maybe January.
Yeah, January could be New Year's and Martin. So obviously I'll find out when I'm onboarded, and I'll report back, because I've never had a job with that many holidays off. So I'm like, what the? Because a lot of, like I said, Martin Luther King usually not off. President usually not. There's just a lot of them that don't get that off.
We usually give it off, but for you get MLK and Juneteenth.
Yeah,
right.
And Kwanzaa.
You may as well just give me February
and Flag Day.
Well, that one makes more sense. I'd rather have that than Juneteenth.
Yeah.
I mean,
you're doing like Sheldon. Flags of the world.
Dude, I would too, man. So my thing, long story long, began 3 in a row, but to wrap it up, did get the job. I start in anywhere between 1 week and 12 days. So anywhere between 7 to 12 days. 7 to 12 days. So, yeah, back to the real world. I'm actually
productive member of society.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, looking forward to it. So.
Instead of being an adorable pusher.
Yeah.
I mean, he
actually
can
have to
still
go
do
back
that.
and do stuff. I mean, I'm going to.
He's
also.
become the Walter White of Doorables.
Shit, I was tempted to buy a box that I saw today, and then I didn't even need a series.
Say
I'm
my
like,
name.
Let me go get
Say
this
my name.
boxes. Series 1.
He
just
goes
because
into
I can.
Walmart. Say my name. Sir, the
Yeah,
pallets
I'm
are in
a
the back.
Muhammad Ali that shit, man. As soon as I walk into Walmart and Target looking for some Star Wars Doorable, I'm gonna walk in and all you're gonna hear is this: "The champ is here." All right, Jack, you're up.
I am glad that my moving is done. Like the big part.
Do it.
Moved in,
Rightfully so.
sleeping here since Friday. So I guess this is officially a week.
They didn't steal nothing?
No.
I did have that happen to me, so that's a good question.
I did find a scorpion in the garage though. Fuck that. There's a big one too. And then I ran his ass over with the garbage can.
Rude.
Fuck you. Get out of my house.
He's there taking care of the rats and stuff.
That's what Jack said when he grabbed the garbage can. The champ is here.
Wait, Scorpion is that new house or old house?
New house, bruh.
Oh.
Well, you are out in the middle of nowhere. You are by
you
some
are.
That's
I
true.
would run that bitch over too. Okay, that's different.
Exactly.
You don't get to live.
No.
Yeah.
No. My house. If he was outside, I'd leave him alone. You come in the garage, done.
Not even paying rent.
Right?
Shit.
Bitch ass.
Trying to be up
No,
here.
but I mean, we're here. I got the casita is decent. It's good enough for Lou to sleep in this weekend.
We'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah, y'all hear about it next Thursday, y'all.
Lou's like, I didn't sleep at all.
Jack's gonna ask me about it on Monday. I'll be like, you'll find out Thursday.
Your cabinet was staring at me all night like the clown from Poltergeist. It was leaning. It was leaning 0.5.
Show up with some shivs. Lift this up.
Look, I got you butt wipes, okay? So I don't want to hear it.
All right, you win. We good.
No meats on the pillows this time, but no, I'm glad that is done. It's been a long time coming. So hopefully the backyard starts soon.
Now it's just really organization at this point.
Yeah, just getting stuff out of the old house.
Yeah, exactly. The cleanup, the put away, the decorate.
Hang the shelves, putting the shelves up, putting the pictures up on the wall, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Did you ever finish the fans? I asked about it earlier, but did you ever?
Okay, no, they've been done. Yeah. I did have to take the Xbox out of the multimedia cabinet though, because the controller range.
I was wondering about that. Yeah.
So I mounted it behind the TV instead.
All right. I was wondering when you said that everything's there. I was like, well, how is the controller supposed to get signals?
It's like it was going out a lot, but I got a mount on Amazon, but it's hidden behind the TV. You can't even tell it's there.
Okay. All right.
It still works with the speakers and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so there's an optical out on the TV. So
on the TV. Okay, got it. So it's not getting sound directly from the Xbox. It's still
it's HDMI into the TV, optical out to the sound system.
Is what's doing it. Okay, gotcha. Ooh, look at it. You're getting shivers thinking about sound system.
I'm sweating now. I'm sweating thinking about. God damn, dude, that was like 2012, 2010 for me when I was using optical out and shit. I'm just like, God damn. Okay. Like
versus what now?
All HDMI, baby.
Oh, okay.
I'm 100% HDMI. I was just like, Like,
I don't think TV has an HDMI out.
Oh, but I have the projector, so I have everything.
Oh, yeah.
But my projector also has a Google TV inside it, so.
Oh, that's
fancy.
Yeah, that's my bougie
that
shit.
That is actually. That's kind of cool.
But yeah. Well,
good turn, D.
Last weekend I went to my friend's beach house up in Washington. A couple friends of mine were like, "Hey, we're going to a month ago, they were like, hey, we're going up to the beach house. I like hanging out with them a lot. We have a lot in common, have a good time. They're also some of the few friends that don't expect me to like, they'll just be like, we bought you this bottle of vodka. And I'm like, cool, how much do I owe you? Don't worry about it type of thing. Like, it's one of those where there's a back and forth, which there are some friends that I have that, weirdly that my tab always ends up on their tab or their tab always ends up on my tab type of thing. but
No
no,
reciprocation.
so I mean, it was like a 3-hour drive, but it's a really nice drive because it was all along there's this bay that you drive around and stuff. It's a super nice restaurant. Had a fantastic prime rib one night. The next night we tried to go to a different place, but it was like an hour and a half wait. We went, let's just go back to the place we were at last night because it was some bomb ass food. I hate seafood, and it's hard sometimes for me to go into restaurants and eat with people who are eating seafood because the smell just. But however they cooked it, like they cook it right because I couldn't. There was like no odor to it at all, unless you like basically shoved your face into the bowl. So I was able to eat all my food, no problem, and they ate their food and everything. Everyone loved their meals. We went, like it was we just hung out all day, just hang out at the house, sit out in the sun, talking, smoking cigars and drinking, and it was a really nice, relaxing weekend. So it's been well needed because I haven't had a quiet weekend in a while. So it was nice that I was able to leave here on Friday and then not have to be back till Sunday afternoon for softball. So it was a nice kind of 48 hours to just not do anything, and nobody was around except for the three of us, and so it was a good time. So
how's your stretching going? Keeping up with that?
I did. I missed the only time I wasn't doing it was the days I was playing softball, but now I'm not. So I've done it every day this week. I think I have my follow up next week sometime. So it's been 3 weeks, but I don't know. My legs have been bothering me a lot the last 3 or 4 days, which kind of sucks. So that'll probably be the next thing, but I'm trying to do things like one at a time because I don't want to be like, here's the laundry list of all the bullshit that's wrong with me. I'd rather fix one thing and then see what fixing that. You know what I'm saying? Like if I have like a compressed disc or something like that, like maybe the stretching and doing that will help that, which means, oh, now my legs feel better. That type of thing. So yeah, so that's the plan is to just kind of piecemeal it. Address each thing in
as it comes. Right.
Yeah, or as an individual, let's take care of this one piece first, see what other stuff it helps, but
good idea.
No, I'll go down. I mean, like after we get done here, I'll go downstairs and put on like a 15-minute YouTube video and then just do my exercises while it's playing in the background. And, yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Till it becomes habit, and then you feel weird not doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. But yeah, it's kind of the last thing I do at the end of the night before I go to bed. So that way I'm actually going to bed in like the optimal stretched. So that might mean last night I slept on this side for the entire night, which is the first time I've done that in probably years. It feels like. So I woke up this. Yeah. just Lou can't wait until December.
I'm going to make sure you're optimally stretched.
But
shit. Right on then. Solid. Wait, did you go up Friday and come back Sunday, or did you go up Saturday morning?
Friday, I get off.
I'm trying to figure out two dinners, so I'm thinking Friday, Saturday.
I get off work at noon on Friday, so I work 4 nines and then work 4 hours on Friday. Because generally, long story long, when a coworker left, my boss was like, "I need you to be here around 5 days," and I was working 4 10s at the time, and I said, "Well, I'll knock an hour off of each of those days, do 4 9s, and then I'll just work in the morning on Friday, and then there's nothing ever happens in the afternoon." And she's like, "Cool." And so I've stuck with that, even though I now have a new. So I left at 9. I left at like 1:00 or 1:30 and drove out there, and then I had softball at 1:30 on Sunday, so I had to leave at like 10. I left a little early so I could listen to the game on the way in. So that was nice that they had the early game so I could listen to it on the way home. We lost our first game, so softball's done for the year. But yeah, no, I mean, it's, it is what it is. Like now I get a few months off to kind of rest and recuperate and,
come back loose and knocking the bitches out the park.
Come back out optimally stretched.
Yeah.
Loose.
So, but no. So yeah. So again, shout out to my friends. They know who they are. They're one of the few people that actually are like, they'll text me on like Friday at like noon and be like, "Hey, do you want to go out for drinks tonight?" Like I don't often get those last minute invites. So it's nice to have somebody. No. They live here in Portland. The beach house is in Washington.
Okay.
But they live here in town, and they'll text me at noon or whatever and say, "Hey, do you want to get dinner or drinks tonight?" You know, they're one of the few people that actually actively
includes
me instead of me going and saying, "Hey, Lou, do you want to hang out? Hey, Lou, do you want to hang out?" You know, not I'm using it as an example, but
I got you.
To me, it's like generally, if I want to go do something, like I have to go initiate. The party coordinator, I think, is what they call me. Event coordinator. So that's nice usually, because then I can kind of control it a little bit. But it's sometimes it's frustrating when you just want someone to be like, "Hey, do you want to go grab happy hour?" You know, like. So, but yeah, they're very good about that. So
that's cool.
That being said, yeah.
Well, we did get a new listener in Mexico this week, so just saying.
Yeah.
Worldwide.
Well,
hola.
Benvendidos. And now he's gone. Or she's gone.
Oh, definitely a she. Well, it could be a he. Have you seen us? I mean,
now Jack's going to have to do AI voices and Spanish translation.
Yep.
He's going to have to do Spanish subtitles for the video.
Don't they already do that for you?
I don't know.
I'd hope so.
No habla español.
Clearly, since you said that wrong. It's hablo, no hablo.
Why are you going español?
Well, no,
is that your new boyfriend?
Maybe. I seen some of them little Spanish boys. They compete. They compete with the Filipinos. So hey.
And 2 hours later.
Oh shit! I know, right? What did I say about a short night? 45 minutes to an hour? Yeah, right. Hour 50. I got nothing. I don't really have anything major going on this weekend, except for Sunday. So, but I leave till Sunday. So it's like, just gonna chill, watch college football, and prepare to pack a bag and leave.
Saturday night poker. That's my big plans for the weekend.
What are we doing? We always got shit. Tomorrow is fall festival, like the Halloween party at wife's school. Saturday, little one's baseball. Oh, and the police picnic. Yeah. Party time.
They have good raffle prizes at the police picnic.
They don't, but
that's
unlimited beer and food. So
there you go.
That's your prize.
That's a winner.
It's the Christmas party is the one that has the prizes, TVs and PlayStations and shit.
No more pistols, though.
Damn shame.
No more confiscated guns.
Right.
You're right. We're gonna pass these along
look,
to you guys.
We're the next item up is a bag of crack. It was mislabeled in the evidence room, and so now it's yours. Just kidding. That's not actually how it works. They don't do that at all. This was a parody.
Right. This is not the stuff we planted on all those colored folk.
Yeah. It's pretend crack.
It's like when you got when you got the candy cigarettes when you were a kid and it was just gum.
Exactly.
Candy crack.
There you go. It's like Pop Rocks.
And it comes out of the crack pipe like a Pez.
Yeah. See, he's on something tonight.
Oh man, yeah, he's too sleepy. He's delirious.
No, I'm just hilarious.
Shit. No, you're Jack.
On that note,
have a good week, everyone.
peace out, y'all.
Bye.